Historically, splicing dino DNA with different species has gone terribly for everyone involved. In this case though, merging it with the frantic intensity of Left 4 Dead's co-op and setting it on a vast open-world style map has worked out nicely thus far. Second Extinction is a simple concept, but it relies on the speed and polish of its action to stand out. For a co-op focused shooter that just had early access and still has a few months of planned runway left before a full launch, it's off to a strong start. The premise here is that mutated dinosaurs are taking over the planet, and it's somehow up to you and up to two friends to massacre them and reclaim Earth before it's too late. That's about it. There isn't really much of an overarching plot here in the sense of overt exposition. Instead, the evolution of the world is the story, with its singular big connected world map. Once you've arrived at your designated drop point, you're free to explore and do whatever you want, including optional side objectives or check out more dangerous zones for better rewards. On top of that, dinosaurs react to the global movements and areas of focus for all players, so the difficulty will shift from region to region. This map is always evolving. Before a match, you'll pick one of 4 characters, each of which equips a primary gun, secondary gun, gear, and their own unique perks. Ortega was my favorite character because she gets 2 primary weapons and can dash at increased speed. Rosie, on the other hand, can lay down static pylons and create electrical barriers between them used for stunning dinos. Playing Second Extinction by yourself is technically possible, but it's just not as fun and has some serious difficulty spikes. In co-op, taking a balanced loadout between the 3 of you is key, and as with all games of this type, it's far better with a group of friends than with randomly matched strangers.
Are we ever getting in-flight movies on these things?
During matches, I always make sure someone has rechargeable ammo drop kits to keep you stocked up, and it helps to bring a big AoE attack like incendiary grenades or airstrikes. Dinos make their presence felt in unique ways, like tunneling out of the ground behind you in a cave or chasing you in a pack towards a dead end. Getting surrounded is terrifying and overwhelming. It's hard to ever feel safe and secure no matter which direction you decide to go, and that keeps me on my toes. To get out of those situations, you're going to end up killing thousands and thousands of the beasts. Second Extinction seems to want to take its name pretty seriously. This is a very good thing though, because the slaughter has been extremely rewarding, at least in the first 15 or so hours that I've spent with it so far. Weapons are fun across the board, even if they're standard FPS fare and lack some impact at first. Once you start upgrading them and unlocking things like the SMG as your secondary weapon, it all starts to click more. Personally, I've fallen in love with the grenade launcher, especially after I unlocked the Explode on Impact perk. Some of these battles are quite thrilling, especially going up against the T-Rex. Each of the dinos have glowing weak points, and some are in tricky spots that force you out of your comfort zone. The grenade launcher, for example, was no good against the T-Rex's throat, so I had to use other methods.
Give me a second.
When you combine that with the instability of the world and how dramatically things can shift across the map, there is enough variety in enemies and gear to keep things interesting for now. But I'd be lying if I said I haven't grown tired of the Arctic tundra that dominates the map already. Snow and ice is a great contrast to the oranges of fire attacks and the redness of the bloody gore, but I'd love a more jungle-style area or even something on the edge of a volcano. Just mix it up, please. On the flip side though, I did appreciate the mission diversity that kept the dino killing from becoming too one-note. For example, one mission may have you triggering missiles and searching for waypoints, while others may send you to escort payloads into a mine. And while you're doing your primary mission, tons of optional side objectives will crop up, like shooting down recon drones or destroying caves full of eggs for extra rewards. Then there are the bounty contracts too, with specific challenges like getting a certain number of headshots with a particular weapon, but you are probably going to be doing that anyway. What's missing most right now are the long-term hooks, that layer of progression that Left 4 Dead never had, but has been added to the genre in the years since. I'd have liked more things to unlock beyond just gun upgrades and new weapons, such as more character skins and more gun skins, that would really incentivize returning. Something like a battle pass might reward sticking with Second Extinction 2 instead of moving on to the million of other options out there. As far as early access games go, Second Extinction is already in excellent shape. For all intents and purposes, it feels very close to being finished already. The foundational gunplay is already strong, each playable character feels different, there's a good short-term progression system, and there's a clear format worth expanding upon. If the developers hone in on what already works, they could have a real gem on their hands. For more on Second Extinction, check out 16 minutes of intense dino slaughtering gameplay right here. And for everything else, stay tuned to IGN.